the real, raw, honest conversations about parenting teenagers in today's world. No filters, no sugarcoating, just truth, compassion, and practical insight from experts, educators, and parents who are right in the trenches alongside you. This podcast is where parents come to hear the conversations they didn't even know they needed. My mission is simple: to help you feel supported, informed, and empowered so you can build a connection with your teen that you truly want. If you want to go deeper into this work with me, stay until the end, and I will share how you can connect with me. From my heart to yours, thank you for being here, for doing the hard work of parenting, and for choosing to grow right alongside your teen. Welcome to another episode of Parenting Teens Advice Redefined for today's world, where we have the real and raw and honest conversations about what parenting looks like today, how we can support you, and how you can support your teen, raising them to be not just kids to get out of the house, but these most amazing, resilient, confident human beings. And today's conversation is something every parent of a teenager quietly worries about. Not so much grades, college, or behavior, but their child's emotional resilience. When our teens struggle with anxiety, ADHD, overwhelm, and or disconnection, we often look for the quick fix. But what if mental health is built on daily habits inside our home? What if the biggest shifts come from small changes in how we live, how we model, and how we connect? I'm honored to welcome Keri Cooper, founder of Keri Cooper Holistic Therapy in New Jersey, where for more than 2 decades, she has helped teens build the real life tools they need to navigate life. Keri takes a holistic approach to therapy, looking at the whole teen: sleep, nutrition, emotional skills, lifestyle, relationships, not just the symptoms. She is the author of Mental Health Uncensored, 10 Foundations Every Parent Needs to Know, and a companion workbook for teens, helping families raise mentally strong young people in a complicated world. As a therapist, speaker, writer, and lifelong learner, and mama for herself, Keri brings both clinical expertise and lived experience to this conversation. Today, we're going to explore foundations parents often miss and how the insights we gain as parents can create lasting impact on our teens' lives. Welcome, Keri Cooper.
Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be here.
I'm really excited for this conversation because it really goes deep and it really aligns to what I say out of 150 episodes, probably 149. I say, listen, it's not them, it's you. And that's where the magic happens, because that's where we hold all the power and all the control. Yes. And so, Keri, tell us first, who is Keri? Mm-hmm. What is this all about? What's your mission? What's the point?
Right. What is the point?
What is the point?
I think my mission really started back when I was in high school. I really struggled in high school, hated it. And I always felt like there was no adult to really talk to without judgment. So then you just continue down your path of making really horrible choices because you're not going to talk to anyone about your choices because you don't want to be judged, but then no one's guiding you. So that was the issue that I kind of had. So based upon that, I decided I want to be a therapist and I wanted to be that person for kids to be able to talk to. So I went into therapy. I knew from a young age kind of what I wanted to do. And as I got into the world of mental health, I always worked with adolescents and children. And I looked around after, a few years of doing it. I'm like, something's not working. Like, here I am on these huge clinical teams, and there's psychiatrists and there's behavioral managers and, or I'm in a school system with all these support staff, and the kids, like, they're getting a little bit better, but not 100%. What are we missing? What is happening? And that's when I decided we really needed to start looking more holistically at these kids. And I actually went back to school and I got a certification in health coaching and, later on sleep coaching. And there's so many foundational pieces where if they're not in place, it's going to be an uphill battle every single day. So now in my practice and in my books, that's kind of what I preach, how parents can help with those foundational pieces. Ideally, you start them off really young with these pieces. However, it's never too late to start.
I love that.
And they're pieces also, by the way, that adults need.
100% agree with you there. And I love that you said it's never too late to start, because, sometimes parents jump on these podcasts and they think, yeah, well, they're 17 and so there's no way, or they're 19 and heading off to, no, it's too late. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So let's speak to that first. Like, if we're meeting parents where they're at right now, let's talk to them and say, okay, you're listening. We have some time here. But first, put your mind in the paradigm shift of what can they start thinking and open up right now to have this conversation?
I think one of the first things they could start thinking and opening up the conversation is look at it through, is your child's body supporting their mental health? There is a world of research on one, if your child is dehydrated, they're going to have a hard time focusing in school. They're going to have a hard time managing emotions. Something as simple as that. Is your child severely dehydrated? Are they drinking energy drinks all day long? I know, the energy drinks. Are they drinking enough water? If they're not, that is the most simplest place to start. And as a parent, listen, as they get older, you can't always control a lot. You can't control what they're doing outside of your house. They're going to have their Starbucks, their Monster energy drinks, whatever. But in the house, just get water.
Yeah, they're going to get thirsty at some point. They got to drink stuff.
Right. At the dinner table, put a glass of water. At the breakfast table, put a glass of water. Get them, their water bottle, fill it up for them every morning if you need to. Speaking of, I'm drinking my water. It's like the simple stuff. There's a ton of research on gut health and how most of our chemicals, especially our feel-good ones, are made in the gut. Yeah. If you are a family that is ordering out all the time, where your kids are just eating junk, where you're buying the junk when you go food shopping, this is a place that you can start shifting. But is it hard work? Yes. Initially, until it gets into a routine. But to make those changes in the beginning, absolutely, it's hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the way even when you speak to fill up their water and you're drinking your water, there's another way to start is they're not listening to a word we say. I get it. We know nothing. We know nothing when we're talking. However, they're always watching. Yes, you have to model the behavior. I can't tell you how many kids sit in my office with me and they're like, my mom keeps telling me to get off my phone. But then I look over and my mom is playing Candy Crush all night long. Yes. You have to be aware of what you're modeling. Are you modeling the healthy behavior? Are you drinking the water? Are you eating the healthy food? Are you working out, not to lose weight, but for mental health, to feel good? Are you trying to stay off the devices? Are you going to sleep at a good time? Are you, and one of my whole chapters in my book is, are you putting up appropriate boundaries to teach your child how to put up appropriate boundaries? Biggie. Yeah.
Biggie. Huge.
Yeah. I just had a podcast with a young man who is autistic, and I was asking him the same question about, what could your parents do to help you? Like, how would you feel cared about and heard and felt? He said, don't be a hypocrite.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God. Yes. First thing he said. And I thought, he said, you can say whatever you want. He says, but I'm watching what you do.
Yep.
And I thought, okay, well, there you go. Bingo. So I want to get into the book as well, and mainly because I want to talk about these foundations that you speak of in the book, and I want people to go read the book, so I don't want a whole spoiler alert of the book, but I want to touch on how important, the foundation is the foundation, in the sense that when we're building a house, we don't start at the roof. We don't put the windows in, we start in the foundation. And so what does that mean? Like when you talk about the 10 foundations of teen mental health, before we even start to unpack them, what is the importance of looking at lifestyle and environment and not behavior?
Right. I mean, if you're not looking at what they're eating and how they're sleeping and if they're hydrated and if they're seeing the light of day, everything else is going to be such an uphill battle. Again, it's like the house, metaphor. If the foundation isn't right, it's always going to be crooked. It's never going to sit right. It's never going to work right. Yeah. So, half of my book is all about the physical foundations that we need to be making sure that we're instilling in our children and in us as well. But it's crucial because without those, you're feeling like you're constantly doing this uphill battle and you're not going to see the results you really want to see.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I have so many kids who walk into my office, and you could tell sometimes when these kids are dehydrated, their lips are chapped, like they look it. And whenever I tell them about water, they're like, ugh, whatever, Keri, there's no way that's the solution to my problems. I'm like, listen, it's not like a magic wand, but it's going to help. Mm-hmm. Normally I get them hooked into the water because it's really good for your skin. And of course, that's the hook.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because once they get into the routine of actually drinking water, they're like, I kind of feel a little bit better. I'm like, yeah, you kind of do. You didn't even know how dehydrated you were until you started drinking water.
Yeah. So as we get into these foundations, I'd love, as we kind of knock off each one a bit, I want it, if you could incorporate, we're getting pushed back now. We're getting pushed back. You can't make all these changes. And your teen's going to go, what is wrong with you? I don't know who you are anymore. And I'm not doing that. How do we have those conversations to get them into the groove and keep them in the groove? Or if they're really getting some fight back, then how are we kind of edging into the good stuff?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different layers to that question. I think, you can't try to jump in and change everything all at once. Like your kid can't come home one day and there's like water and like tofu when they're used to like Chick-fil-A. Like it's not going to happen. You need to kind of gradually go into some of this stuff. You can't turn their world upside down. And you have to do it yourself. This will not work. They will be so angry with you if you're just expecting them to do it and you are not doing it yourself. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And you need to get everybody in the house involved. It can't be, well, you need to eat healthy, but your sister doesn't. Like that doesn't work either. So it has to be really a family change. And there has to be a conversation around it of, listen, the parental units, whoever those may be, have noticed we're not doing our best. We're not feeling our best. We're going to start making some changes so we can all feel better.
That's good.
Together, hey, is there a recipe you want me to make? Do you want to go find something online that looks good? Do you want to cook with me? These kids, they need to learn how to cook, by the way. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. And turn on the laundry. But okay, we'll go down.
Yeah. I have a whole chapter about laundry.
I love
Let me tell you why. Laundry is my favorite thing to have kids do themselves for many different reasons. One, if they are in charge of their own laundry, they have to learn to pre-plan. They have to learn to time manage. Oh, I'm running out of underwear. I need to make sure I do this. Oh, I have a baseball game. My shirt needs to be clean. It's dirty today and I'm working tomorrow. So when am I going to fit laundry in? So there's a lot. It helps the brain a lot, really plan for future, right? Time manage. This is all things we want our kids to have. So it's fantastic. If they don't do it, the only person it impacts is them. Nobody else is impacted. It's just them. And what's the worst that's going to happen? They wear something dirty or they can't wear something. So it's an easy thing where the parents can truly step away, don't remind, did you do your laundry? Step away. You teach them how to work the machine. They could work the machine. They could work their smartphones. You teach them how to work the machine. You give them a quick laundry breakdown, right? You give them their own laundry basket, and that is that. You step away.
Oh my God, I love that. And so basic.
It's so basic, but it's something we forget all the time. Yeah. And a lot of parents will say to me, this is the push. I get pushback when I tell parents this because parents are so fearful. The pushback I get is they're going to forget. And I go, okay.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen? Or I get, they're going to ruin their clothes. They might. We've all been there. It's happened to all of us. Something has bled through. We've all gone through it. Yes. Is it disappointing? Yes. Does it suck? Yes. Yeah. Will you live? Yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
And you will learn a lesson from it. You can't protect your children from everything.
Yes. And coming from, my son is 37, I know for sure his wife is very appreciative that he has been doing his laundry since he was 12, 13, both of them. Yeah. And so I know, and she has mentioned many times, oh, thank God. oh, thank God. Like and she is a teacher too. And she will say, what is with the kids that come into the, family studies classes, don't know how to turn on the oven. They're high school. What are you parents doing or not doing? Come on.
Right.
So it's all a ripple effect for sure.
It is. There's been a shift in parenting. Again, I've been doing this for almost 25 years and I've seen it. There's been a shift in parenting. Everyone talks about the kids. There's a shift in kids. There's a shift in kids. Okay, but there's a bigger shift in parenting.
Yes.
Where I think it does tie into social media, where we get bombarded with the worst of the world. And we have become so fearful that the kids aren't allowed to do anything. Mm-hmm. Because there's so much fear and there's so much competition and so much keeping up with the Joneses that it's, I need to be able to post what you're doing. And, how many internships do you have in high school and all this ridiculous stuff that we have put so much pressure on these kids, so much pressure.
Yeah.
But we've also not allowed them to do anything on their own. Which is so strange and such a strange mix of things that we've done. But that's what happened.
Yeah.
These kids are terrified. And that's why anxiety is through the roof. I have never seen anxiety like I have seen anxiety in the last few years. 25 years ago, when I first started out in this, you would get kids in the office for some ADHD issues, some behavioral issues, a little bit of depression. That's really it. Mm-hmm. It is 99% anxiety, what I see in my office. Yeah, and it's debilitating anxiety, what I see in my office.
Mm-hmm. And I do wonder too, what happens when the kids feel anxious or they feel a little nervous about something, and then we label it. And then we label it. So now it's like, oh, I can't do that test. I have anxiety. They become anxiety.
We are not helping these children.
Right? It just, I feel like you're just defining yourself now. Yeah. And I'm not saying kids don't have a diagnosis of anxiety,
right?
But I also think it can be very misrepresented.
What I always say to kids with anxiety is this: your feelings are valid. You have them, you feel it. Your fight or flight system has turned on 100%.
Yeah.
It's a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't decide to push through and do something, even with that feeling, and it's just going to stop you from living life. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to go into that room and talk to somebody, even while feeling anxious. Yes, I feel anxious. Yes, this is hard. I'm going to do it anyway, because it's just a feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once we let our feelings win, then we're in trouble. And this is what we've seen a lot. There's a huge issue with school refusal lately.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And the schools are handling it, in my opinion, so poorly, because they're basically telling the kids, it's okay to fear school. So we're going to start you off with, you're just going to come for 10 minutes or you're just going to come for 20. No, you're able to go the whole time. You're going to feel anxious, but that's okay. Yeah. But the more you do it, the more your body realizes, oh, this isn't a crisis situation. But when we continue to make it a crisis situation, then it continues to be a crisis situation.
And we continue to hit the reset button. Okay, Monday, you're not going to school. Okay. I know you're anxious. I know that's the feeling for Monday. So let's wait till Tuesday. We'll give it a day. And then Tuesday we hit the reset button and the reset button. And it's never something they have had to push through to feel like at the end of the day, and I even find sometimes parents might get so wrapped up in that they forget to celebrate the wins when they do happen to push through something, so that we can remind them, oh yeah, but remember last week and you did it anyway, and how you felt when you came home. Let's remember, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, same with parents. We don't celebrate our wins. We celebrate what complete failures we are as parents.
Yes. But also with parents, we also need to remember, we need to push through what makes us anxious as well.
Yes.
And that's really important too.
Yeah. And would it be helpful to tell our kids, I remember when?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. And my mom said, get your ass to school.
Yeah.
And I did. And I was fine.
Yep.
So I think to respect and recognize, yes, it is a feeling and it is valid, but it's also something that you can get through.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So let's talk about one of the foundations, sleep.
Yes.
How, oh my gosh, how do parents underestimate the value of sleep and the teenage brain?
The bigger issue on this is that the parents aren't sleeping either.
Mm.
I have a whole second business where I sleep coach adults because no one is sleeping. And the research on sleep, I mean, you want to talk about any one big foundation, it's gonna be sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep is when your body resets. It's when it makes all of the chemicals and hormones it needs. It flushes out all of your toxins. Like your brain processes information from the day. All of the learning is done. Your sleep is everything. You need to be sleeping. And it's so funny because, when our kids are little, like toddler age, and they start melting down, parents, you hear them, oh, they missed their nap time. Right. They missed their nap time. And now look at the behavior. However, we have kids who, because they have, phones in their rooms and screens in their room and are up all night, and then school is very early in the morning, they're getting nowhere near the sleep they need to get. And then we're like, they're so miserable. They're so cranky. Yes, they are so miserable and they are so cranky because they're sleep deprived. I'm not sure what people are expecting, but that's what's going to happen. If I miss a night of sleep, I'm cranky the next day.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine your teenager who is chronically sleep deprived. They're snappy. They're mean. They are not thinking clearly. It's harder to concentrate in school. Homework is now taking 5 times as long as what it should. Everything is harder.
So how do we address this? What are we doing with our kids? What are the 4 or 5 major steps to take to make sure they're getting some sleep?
My number one rule, and your kids will give you so much pushback, and this is something that as a parent, you have to do it. You need to have a place in your home where all of the phones, including yours, parents, are charged at night.
Yes.
And that's that. And including the watches and whatever other screens, they have to go out of the room. It needs to be a non-negotiable.
Yep.
So,
and you are the adult, and you are the boss.
Yeah.
And you get to say, I know you don't like this decision. I don't need any more friends. My job is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to get the phones out of the room. Also, nothing good is happening on these phones late at night. Yeah. Any of the big issues that arise, that's when they're happening. Don't put your kid in that situation. Don't put your kid in that situation where 1 a.m, one of their friends is calling them being like, I'm going to kill myself. Now your kid is playing, crisis counselor. This happens.
Yes,
don't put your kid in a situation where 1 a.m, somebody's asking them for a nude. That's happening. It's not happening at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Such a good point.
Don't put your kid in that situation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. 100%. And it kind of reminds me of my mom, nothing happens good outside after 10 o'clock.
That's so true.
When the street lights come on, get your ass home because nothing good can happen.
So that is the number one thing. Get the phones, devices out of the room. The other thing is you need to make sure you're not overscheduling these kids.
So good.
Because then they're running until 9 o'clock at night. And listen, it baffles me how late some of these sports are. I don't understand who thinks this is a good idea, but I get that there is a reality to it that you can't always avoid. But you really have to look at the schedule and you really have to be like, okay, what do they love? What do they need to be doing? What do they not need to be doing? And start taking away some things.
Yeah. I wonder if parents feel like if they're really busy and everything else, they're not getting into trouble. But there's a negative side to that.
There's a huge negative side. They need to know how to be bored.
Yes.
It's actually really important for their brain, especially when they're super little. They need to know how to be bored and how to entertain themselves and how to creatively play. Another big shift that's happened recently is that, you used to drop your kid off at somebody's house and the kids would go play, whether it be outside, inside, whatever, they were playing. All of the play dates now are these organized types of play dates with an adult monitoring. Adults shouldn't be doing that. If there's an argument, this is when kids practice figuring out how to solve it.
Yes.
well, you want to play that game, but she wants to play that game. And, we all want, like, they need to figure that stuff out. That's how they learn.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is like adult monitored. And it's really sad.
I feel like there's no creativity because everything is external.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get into high school, there's no critical thinking skills because they're told from social media or from their friends and or how to think, what they're supposed to think about, how they're supposed to feel about it. And there's no, like you said, there's no time to be bored where you can start establishing your own thoughts about things that are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good point. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when they're little. Oh, when they're little, like those are the years, especially let them be bored, let them be off screens, let them just have cardboard boxes to play with and build something like that. Go back to the basics.
Yeah. Do you go as crazy as I do when you walk into a restaurant?
Oh.
And these little kids have an iPad?
Not only do I go crazy, my children go crazy. My children are like, what is going on over there? Parents, I get it. You want to enjoy your dinner. If you're taking small children out, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Go get a babysitter and go out with your, whoever you want later on. But if you're going out for a family dinner, listen, I know you need to entertain kids. That's where coloring books and crayons come. I always have a stack of cards actually in my purse, always. And we play games all the time at the table with cards. And where we're all engaged and looking at each other. I cringe when I see the iPads with the little kids at the dinner table. And I cringe when I also see them in the grocery store sitting in the carts using them.
Yeah. What is this? I might sound so antiquated, but we took their kids to dinner all the time. And we went to places that had that brown paper on the table and crayons, and we played hangman. I guess that's probably not appropriate anymore. And X's and O's and how to spell. And you know what? My kids survived. They are okay. Yeah. And I just it is and they learned social behavior in a beautiful restaurant.
Yeah.
They didn't have to have this to make them behave. You're just stifling them. You're not teaching them anything.
Yeah.
So you're right. You want a date night? Go on a date night. You want a family dinner? Go as a family to dinner.
Mm-hmm. And listen,
nuts.
Raising kids is not easy. It is not easy. Me and my husband joke all the time. We're like, we should have just got like a few cats. Like, it would have been so much easier, It's not easy.
No.
They are going to melt down. They are going to scream in a store. They are this is what happens. I can't tell you how many meltdowns my children have had in stores because I said, no, I won't buy you something. And then they're screaming, like dragged on the cart, but like, this is life. It's messy.
It is messy.
And you have to embrace the messiness and you have to embrace the meltdowns. It's developmentally appropriate. Like, this is normal.
Yeah. You're not failing. This is how they're supposed to behave.
Yeah. You're supposed to say no. They're supposed to get that. Like, that's the dance.
Yep. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's talk about nutrition. Let's talk about nutrition. I know this is one of the fundamentals. Yeah. I know we won't get through them all, but I want to hit some.
Not even close.
So, yeah.
Nutrition. Yeah. It's like the dehydration. You don't even realize how bad it is until you start eating good food and realize like, I feel so much better. If we look at what most of these children are eating, it's not real food.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have the vitamins they need. They don't have the minerals they need. Like, again, your gut health is so important for your mental health. And I don't even think that parents understand at this point what healthy food is. I talk with a lot of kids and their parents, and I'm always like, how's your health? How's your physical health? And the parents are always like, oh, they're great. And then I hear that, they don't go to the bathroom every day, or that they have constant migraines or stomach issues. And I'm like, that's not normal. That's not normal. And then it's like, well, what are they eating? I'm like, oh, they eat fine. And then I hear the list of what they're eating. I'm like, half this isn't even real food. And it's so interesting. I was just reading another book about, every kid at this point has like a palate expander and braces and all of this. And they were talking about the food we've been giving to our kids is so processed that they never have to really work their jaws. So they don't have enough room in their mouth anymore, which is why
my God.
blood expanders are happening. And
That's
I was like,
interesting.
that makes sense. Yeah, it was a really interesting book. And they said, like, if you go back to the caveman time, like they actually have perfectly straight teeth because they had enough room because their mouth was working. But our mouths we're not using our jaws. They're all just sucking down yogurt, pouches.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a light bulb. Holy
Isn't that
cow.
interesting?
Yes, very. And makes so much sense.
Their food, what they're eating, it's all like squeezy, like slurp it up, like don't even chew.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because as parents, again, like there's such a fear of like they're going to choke. And it's like, you just need to take like normal steps to make sure you don't.
Yeah.
But it's also like we're one of the few places that have kid food. When you go to other countries, there's no such thing as a kid menu. There's no kid food. It's you eat like adult food.
Yeah.
I don't know why we started this concept of like kid food.
Yeah. But, oh my gosh. Okay. Let's talk about emotional regulation.
Yes.
That's a biggie.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. And I know we're not going to, it would be a novel on this episode, but let's talk about even the basics of emotional regulation and how parents accidentally prevent this from happening. Like, how are they fostering dysregulation as opposed to emotional regulation?
One, I think, is also modeling it. Like you as a parent, the moment we get upset, we kind of lash out sometimes. That's what you're modeling. You have to remember that you have to model it too. So if you're upset, you have to be able to take that step back. You have to be able to breathe. You have to be able to be like, I can't have this conversation right now. Let me wait.
Mm-hmm.
You need to realize that nothing is going to get solved when everyone is heated and upset. It just doesn't work like that. So to be able to model taking a step back, to be able to model, like, I'm not having that conversation right now, to be able to model, like, let's hold on and talk about it later, is really important. Just that way your kids learn how to do that. But also in terms of emotional regulation, like there's so many layers to it, because are they dysregulated because they're not sleeping? Are they dysregulated because they just had a really long day at school navigating, every social craziness that they can. And then they get home and we're like, how was your day? What did you get on the test? And like 25 questions like going at them. And they're just like, oh my God, shut up. Like,
it's so true.
Right. Like that's not really dysregulation as much as like, just don't talk to them for a few minutes.
So when it looks like defiance, how do parents shift to looking at what actually is this defiance?
Right. So I always say there's a level of defiance that's really normal for teenagers and should actually be there. Like their goal is to leave your nest and to move on. They need to break away from you.
Yeah.
So a level of defiance is really, really normal. They're trying to figure out their own lives, their own world. They're not going to be exactly what you want them to be. And that's a whole nother novel in itself about accepting who your kids just are. Mm-hmm. But so there's a normal level of defiance. Mm-hmm. If it gets to a level where they're, cursing you out and stuff like that, that's obviously not a normal level. But the eye rolls, the huffing, the puffing, I always tell parents, just let it go. Mm-hmm. Don't take it so personal. It's not normally about you. Because as much as we say parenting has changed so much, what these kids are dealing with on a daily basis has also changed so much. Yeah. I would not want to grow up during this time where everything can be recorded and then shown to everybody, and like every misstep or, everything is just blasted. There's no way I would want to grow up then. Every mistake is caught. It is horrendous. Every is screenshotted. I mean, it is. Yeah. It's really, really hard for them.
Yeah. That's such a great awareness for parents to really think about, because it is hard. It is. I can't imagine.
No. And
all the crap I did, it was on the internet.
Right. Parents are so quick to say like, well, I wasn't this disrespectful when I was their age, or I wasn't this when I was there. You also did not deal with half the stuff they deal with. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were given a freedom in a sense where there wasn't always a camera on us. Somebody wasn't always ready to take a picture of us. Like, and also just there was an ignorance that we had. Now you open your phone in the morning, you see that every one of your friends hung out the night before because it's posted all over Snapchat, all the photos. And oh my gosh, you were left out. Before, when you were left out, you didn't know about it necessarily.
Yeah.
Now you know it, and you know it in real time.
So if we were to talk about defiance and a certain level being normal, in real time, teenager comes home. Hi, how was your day? Oh, shut up, slam the door. I don't want to talk to you. I hate you. You're the worst mother. All of the things. What does a parent do if this is a level of normal defiance? Can you tell them, okay, what are we doing?
I think what you need to be doing, if that is the normal, coming home every single day, I think that not right after school, but later on that evening, at some point, you need to sit down with them and just simply say to them, listen, every time you come home, you seem like you're really angry with me. Can you let me know what I could be doing differently? And then you're going to shut your mouth as a parent and you're going to listen. And you're not going to say, no, but if you did, no, you're just going to shut your mouth. You're just going to shut your mouth. I don't care if you think that every single thing they're saying is wrong. You're just going to shut your mouth.
That's gold right there.
And at the end, you're going to be like, okay, thank you. I'm going to try to work on some things. And I guarantee you there is something that your child said in there that you absolutely could work on and to change. Because we're not perfect.
That is so good. And then shut your mouth.
And then just be quiet.
Love it.
But the fact that your child then saw that you came, you listened, you didn't interrupt, you didn't say, no, you're wrong. That alone is amazing for your child to see. I get so many kids in my office and they're like, my parents never apologize even when they're wrong. Yeah.
So true.
It's so true. Like, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to mess up. Own it.
Yeah.
Own it. If you lose your mind on your child, okay. If you're able to then say to them, listen, I reacted so poorly. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. And not with but you said, like,
yes. I'm so glad you said that.
I messed up. I'm so sorry, because you're responsible for your own behavior. And that's what we try to teach our children. So you can't blame your behavior on them.
Yeah.
I always tell parents, just speak less words, just a lot less words.
You know, there's nothing worse. And and this is kind of a shift to our neurodivergent kids, like especially I would say kids on the spectrum and ADHD. How many times I just got off the phone the other day with a parent and she's like, yeah, and then he comes home and I asked him to do this. I have to ask him 15 times. And I said, well, what about if you just didn't and put a couple sticky notes on the bathroom mirror? Because as soon as you start that, it becomes a ping pong match. Oh, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. You never listened to me. Blah, blah, blah. You're just engaging in something that is never going to end well.
Right.
And if you understand that the whole language piece, the less language, like you just said, talk less, listen more. And imagine getting up in the morning and not having to say 15 times, did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? Did you make your lunch? Did you make your lunch? Blah, 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 blah. And there's a checklist on the fridge and they just have to look at it. Because I don't think most kids intentionally go to school, especially high school where vanity is good, not brushing their teeth or not brushing their hair. They're starving at lunch. I don't think it's intentional. But when they hear this ream of words at them at 7 o'clock in the morning about all the things they need to do before they get in the car, it's too late, you're not getting a ride. How about just a checklist? It works better for me. I think if somebody harped instructions at me all day long, I would just go back to bed. I wouldn't be able to handle it. So saying less, I like that.
Yeah, saying less. But that also goes back to when they're really young, letting them have more independence. Like, this is what we do in the morning. We get dressed, we brush our teeth, we eat. Go for it.
Yeah. Is there a different shift if we're talking about our kids who are neurodivergent, ADHD, autistic? Do you have insights on a shift in parenting if our kids have a diagnosis?
There's definitely a different level of accepting what is really hard for your child.
Mm.
And accepting that. And accepting that that just always may be hard. And that's hard for parents.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a level of acceptance that you may tell them 50 times a day to brush their teeth. They may just not brush their teeth. It is what it is at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you telling them 50 times isn't changing anything. So stop. But, and that goes into the bigger concept of, if you don't like the way the relationship is with you and your kids, you have to look at the dance that you're doing every single day. And at some point, you need to change your steps.
Mm.
If you change your steps, they have to shift. But you can't wait for them to change theirs.
That's so good. Yeah, that just makes so much sense to me. I love that.
That's in any relationship. If you don't like it, you need to change how you're either responding or starting or whatever. You have to change something about it then.
Yeah. Because can you change your partner? Can you change your mother? Can you change your brother?
Right.
So you're right. That works with kids as well. I think that's so good.
You can't wait for them to change.
No. So one last thing then.
Mm-hmm.
If parents listening right now, when parents are listening right now, not if, I want to ask, what is one foundation they should start working on right now? And should they be like touching on all the foundations, or should they pick one, kind of get it under wraps, pick the one you think is the most important? I have a funny feeling what you're going to say, but we'll say, and then move on to the next. And this is, of course, they're going to read your book.
Right.
If they're listening right now.
Yeah. I think you could either choose to touch a little bit on all of them or go through one by one. It really doesn't matter. But I would say the number one is sleep, because without it, everything is actually going to be much harder. And parents as well. Like, everybody in your house needs to be sleeping at night.
That's amazing. Keri, this has been great. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you really want to say?
I have a whole piece in my book about one of my favorite things for families to do, and it's about family dinners. And we've lost sight of it over the years with everyone's busy schedule. And I don't care if it's family breakfast. The more and more times you get to sit down together as a family and talk and eat and no electronics, the research behind it is phenomenal. So even if you do nothing, if you just sit down once a week for a family meal after hearing this podcast, you're making a difference right there.
Fantastic. What a way to answer. Perfect. Thank you, Keri. I really appreciated this. I love your approach. This is aligns with me. Like, just shut your mouth. I love it. That's the best. It's going to stick with me. Keri, where can we find you? I'm going to put the links to your book and everything in the show notes, but where can we find you? How can parents work with you?
My website's Keri Cooper Holistic Therapy. I'm also on Instagram at Keri Cooper Holistic Therapy. And both my books are on Amazon: Mental Health Uncensored, 10 Foundations Every Parent Needs to Know. And then there's a workbook for your kids too under the same title.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that we connected and we had this conversation. And parents, share this episode and start following Keri. If you think you're failing, you're not, because you're still listening to these things and you're still reading the book. So you're not failing. You're still trying. And that's the key. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time. Before you go, I really want you to know something. I'm not just a podcaster. I'm a speaker, a published author, and the founder of Insight to Impact. I'm an educational strategist and family advocate with over 25 years of experience helping families and schools support teenagers from diagnosis to IEPs, to interpreting assessments, to high school transitions, and beyond. This podcast, Parenting Teens Advice Redefined for Today's World, is part of my mission to help parents understand schools, support their teens, and feel heard and seen at the table. If today's episode helped you, Please subscribe or follow the show, share it with another parent, and leave a review. It truly helps families find the support, and I'm very grateful when you do these things. And if your teen is struggling in school, navigating a new diagnosis, or you need help preparing support at school, you can work with me directly through educational consulting or my 90-day advocacy program. Just visit cherylpankers.com to learn more and to book a complimentary consultation to see if I can help. I know parenting is frickin' hard, but if you're listening to podcasts, if you're reading the books, if you're looking for answers, you are not failing because you're still trying. You do not have to figure this out alone. I got you, and we'll see you next week.